Hey slashers and scream queens, and welcome back to the Horror Daddies Podcast. Today I want you guys to pretend you're sitting around the campfire with me because I'm going to tell you the legend of the film Daddy John. So long ago, film Daddy John, when he was a child, he was really into Spider-Man to the point where it was a little scary how much he cosplayed Spider-Man. Like, he even took showers dressed as Spider-Man. And then one day his uncle came in, and this is not where it's going. Took him to see Spider-Man 2. And John loved Spider-Man 2 so much that he became an even bigger fan, to the point that when his uncle, after the movie, took him to the McDonald's playhouse, Jonathan climbed all the way up and he fell because he thought he could swing from the chandelier. He could not. He hit his head so hard, and then he went to the hospital, but he's okay. He's okay. And then Spider-Man, the 20th anniversary happened, and it was re-released, and his girlfriend took him to see it. And after the movie, he was so excited that he tried swinging her off a building and murdered his girlfriend. And it broke him so hard that he just went on a killing spree through the town, saying that he was the real Peter Parker. And he just kept yelling that he loved films like Spider-Man 2. And that's pretty much the legend of our film Daddy John. So with me today, I have film Daddy John in the flesh, as we talk about in the nature calls.
Happy Pride, Carlos!
Gaze. Gaze. Gaze.
Happy Pride! Woo!
Gaze. 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 Gaze.
Yeah! Now, what kind of ally doesn't do this for you, huh?
I know. I love that I'm in black and you're very colorful.
I mean, come on. We gotta do something for Pride, baby.
I was not expecting that.
I had this whole plan.
You look like a gay sailor.
Yeah, bro. Target, look. Still got the tongue and everything.
You're returning it, aren't you?
I'll give it a month.
All right.
So happy Pride, baby!
Did you like my story?
I didn't hear any because I was really nervous. I don't know why. I was just like, I'm gonna start dancing.
I was trying to work it.
I heard Spider-Man 2.
I was
like,
improvising, but you know, I did my best.
Hey, you did great. I can't wait to listen when I edit.
Okay, cool. Happy Pride, y'all. Welcome to our prideful set this month. Which
It's so colorful.
Thank you. That flag behind me, I've had that since I was like 16 actually, because I remember.
You've been gay that long?
Yes. I remember gay? I bought it at my first Pride parade that I went to.
Oh, wow.
And that flag disappeared for a while, and I thought my mom threw it out.
Like the Ouija board.
Oh,
it doesn't go away.
I blamed her. I told all my friends about how she's a homophobic. And one day while I was actually moving to this house or the other house, and I found it in the most randomest thing, like from my high school stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, she didn't throw it out. I
Damn.
blamed her all these years.
You need to apologize to your mama right there.
Sorry, Mom. She don't know about it. Even though I feel like I had another flag and that one whatever. But
You have two. You have the two of the same.
Yeah, I still have this flag, which is crazy. And yeah, that was the story behind that flag.
Well, look at it.
There's more progressive flags now, I feel. This is very
this
old.
means gay.
Yeah, no, this is very old style.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, love it.
I mean, we still love it. That's okay.
Gays.
But guys, I am your film Daddy John in the flesh.
And I'm your horror daddy Carlos. He lived. Well, you don't know.
I am alive.
I love that we're that meme where it's like some gays during Pride and then other gays. And I'm the very like.
I'm that obnoxious ally. I can't shut the fuck up. It's like when you have a rescue dog.
No.
It's like, it's a rescue.
Well,
like,
you're that like, I'm an ally. Like,
yeah, bro, look. I'm an ally, bro.
I support.
I'm such an ally. I can't be friends with more than one gay person.
Exactly.
That's an ally.
And you can't say the F word unless permission is given.
Exactly. That's why I haven't said it.
Yeah, sure.
Publicly. Just kidding. Alrighty. So what movie did we watch today?
So Ooh, today we went to the theater to watch In a Violent Nature. I know we were supposed to do Cube, but I forgot In a Violent Nature was coming out, so I was like, oh shit. So we switched it up a little bit, but Q will be coming.
Yep, next week.
But yeah, we watched In a Violent Nature, which interesting.
So let's do our non-spoiler thoughts.
Yeah. My non-spoiler thought, I liked it.
Like, it's a movie.
It's it's a movie.
It's exactly what I thought it was gonna be.
If you grew up in the 80s with the slasher boom, you might like this movie, but it depends on what you like about slasher movies, because I'm trying to say it without spoiling, but I mean, obviously we know that we're just following the killer in this movie. Mm-hmm. We're not really following any characters or nothing. The killer is the main character. The killer is the center of this movie. Yeah. And we follow him the whole time. And he's literally an homage to Jason.
It's like story, like the whole like aspect, the lore kind of scene, like he sees things, or I guess we have one scene that he sees something. Yeah. And it's kind of even similar to the mom. Which I liked.
Yeah. Because it's like he was our most popular villain of the 80s.
Basically the one that kind of started it
all. People see him,
way.
People know who he is. So it's like I get why they did. I feel like why they did it that way. But I did enjoy the movie. I will say the movie's very slow paced. If you're not into slow paced movies, this movie's not for you. What you will like about this movie is probably the kills.
And it's also not slow paced like how Hereditary is like kind of slow paced.
No.
Or Midsummer is slow. No. This is slow. Like no kills for like 40 minutes into the movie, and it's just walking. That you
see.
Well, yeah, like the first kill is kind of like off screen. Yeah. So it's like, and it's cool. The thing about this movie, I like it, but I don't think this is a movie I'm gonna rewatch ever.
Right.
At all. Like exactly. I feel like there's no value to rewatching it. Like once you see it once, I feel like the only thing you'll go back to is the kills.
Unless
other than that,
I will only rewatch it if someone's like, "Hey, I haven't seen it. Can we watch it?" And I'm like, "Sure."
And even then, I'd be like,
"I'll fall asleep."
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect movie to fall asleep to.
Yeah, I feel like this movie's problem is that it's too long, and this would work better as a short. Maybe trim 30 minutes off this movie, and it'll be paced better.
Yeah,
but I also see the vision that he's going for. So it's like,
because it's like, is it smart? Or is it just like boring? It's kind of like a mix of everything. Because it's like, even technically, like the kills are fucking crazy. Like I haven't seen some of these kills ever. Like there's one particular one that like everyone in the theater was like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
like,
everybody.
It's crazy. But it's like, there's what, 4 kills? 5, 6. There's 6 kills, I think, right? And it's like,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it's like, but there's an hour and a half, so it's like just do the math. Like the kills aren't 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like, you really have to sit through it. There's nothing else. It's just like a lot of things, cool kills with like nothing in between. Yeah, and that I wish it was a little bit more. I think maybe giving the killer a personality. Like, you know what?
If it was more like a Freddy and not a Jason?
Not that. More of like, I know it's like what we don't see in the movies, right? So it's like him walking.
And you know, that's what I liked.
I know, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. But you know, I'm going to get into spoilers now. So
okay, before we do. Okay, let's go through through our stuff first. So this was directed by Chris Nash. It was also written by Chris Nash, because there's not much dialogue in this movie. And then the budget. Actually, I don't have a budget, but it's made $2 million so far, from what I can see.
Okay,
that's good.
That's a good. Chunk. I mean, the concept, like how they sold this movie, it's like, yeah, this is cool. Like we've wanted to see this. It makes sense. I have the cast here. We have Rye Barrett as Johnny, our main character.
A killer.
We do have like we kind of in a way follow like a group of people. So we have our final girl, Andrea Pavlovic. We also as Chris, Cameron Love as Colt, Reese Presley as the Ranger, that's our Tommy Doyle. Liam Leone as Troy, Charlotte Craigram as Aurora, Lee Rose Sebastians as Brody, Sam Rolston as Aaron. Alexander Olive as Evan. Timothy Paul McCarthy as Chuck. Wait, I've seen this guy before. Oh, PG. He's in PG.
Psycho Gorman.
I was like, I've seen this guy before. And then Lauren Mary Taylor as the woman. Which that makes sense. I knew she was familiar. She's in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh,
I was like, why she kind of looks familiar? So there's a connection to Jason. If you guys had any doubt.
The homage, the Jason movie I thought of watching this was Part 2.
Yes,
specifically Part 2.
Part 2.
The tagline to this movie is "Nature is unforgiving," which
basically,
yes, it is.
That's pretty much the theme of the movie.
Yeah, and then our synopsis is: when a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurred on by a horrific 60-year-old crime, his body is resurrected and becomes hellbent on retrieving it. So this is what I was thinking while watching this. I was thinking this is so Jason, how he doesn't show up until his mom is murdered.
Yep.
Which the locket could be the representation of his mother. Mm-hmm. And
gets taken away from him.
And then he goes on a killing spree. But then the thing is that in other movies, we follow our characters who we all just want them to fucking die because their dialogue is terrible. And the dialogue here for the characters is so fucking...
It's spot on.
And because it's fucking horrible and they're annoying. And I'm like, this was written like this on purpose because this is what we watch. How we watch our slasher movies.
This is like a homage, completely love letter to horror, the slasher Jason specific movie with the horrible teens. The only thing is that we don't kind of get, you know how like you're watching, you're like, you need to die. Like I want you to die. Literally the one person that I was kind of like, oh, she's kind of cool, gets it the worst. I was like, God damn, this bitch did not deserve this shit. But like, I was kind of missing that. Like, I wish we got a little bit more of that. Like, of the teens, like, want to learn more of them instead of like 20 minutes of him walking.
And that's the thing. That's not what this movie's for. You know, it would be really interesting. I was thinking while watching this, we get this movie and we call this movie the Killer Cut. But then we get a second movie
of the actual.
If just the kids.
That would be cool.
And we get the actual slasher version, and I'm pretty sure if you watch them both, that slasher version one's gonna be fucking terrible because they're like, these fucking people are annoying.
It's so like, and it's also like so like predictable. It's like the stereotypical slasher movie.
Yeah,
That's
and then as the movie kept going on, and like he's killing, and then something happens, I'm like, I can see the movie from the other perspective of what's happening.
Yeah, and
I also like that there's no music in this movie.
Nope, not at all.
And I like to think that we only get music in the slashers because it's from the people's perspective.
Yeah, because it's like,
not from the hymns.
They're so in paranoia that they're like just imagining
and
things.
That's why towards the end when she's running through the forest, it got louder.
Yep. And you hear like more sounds than just the nature that's happening. So my thing about this movie is I think that it's great that they doubled down. They were like, yep, they just walk. They just stalk. And
I like that he stuck to the assignment.
Yeah, because it's like I was seeing on Twitter people being like, I can't fucking wait for this movie. This is gonna be sick. And I'm like, I don't think y'all like expecting. Y'all think it's gonna be like murder spree. It's like it really isn't. It's literally walking and 6 kills. That's it. The kills are sick. They're awesome. They're like the best I've seen in a while. And it's a boring movie. It's like they don't do anything.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow movie.
It's like they literally don't do anything in between. They just kind of get to one destination to the other.
And as he's walking, it's cutting through him walking through the forest. Because if not, it's just gonna be a long route.
So this is where I feel like if this was so much to Jason, I feel like I would have liked to make it a little bit more interesting. Because I like the aspect, you know, like the one shot that he's kind of walking and it cuts to like a long shot and it's just him walking all the way through
across the screen.
It's like comedic. It's like really funny to like, it just cuts to someone screaming like help, and it's just him just walking.
And you know, it's always that conversation. It's like, well, I wonder what the killer's doing in between all this. He's just walking through the woods until he comes across you, and that's how you die.
Yeah, it's like you're going into his plate. Like you literally are walking towards him.
Yeah.
And the only thing I would like is if this was an homage to Jason, I would have liked to see him like have visions of like luring him towards these people. Like, because we're seeing it in his eyes, and in one moment he looks at a mirror and it's like his father being like, take this
and
locket.
I also like that is not a mom.
It's not a mom. Yeah. And it's like, you're a special boy or whatever. And like, But I just wish we have more of that, where like he's seeing things that make him kind of get lower. Because like if I see it through Jason's perspective, I'm thinking of, oh, he sees his mom, and his mom is kind of like, go kill him over here, and he's kind of going that direction.
Yeah,
we don't get to see that, and I was like, I wish we had a little bit more.
They explain it off that the locket, since the locket was removed, that's why he came to life, because he's unrested now.
Yeah,
and all he's doing is looking for the locket.
Yeah, that's literally the plot of this movie. We should kind of set up like what's his lore. So he burns alive, right? That's literally what happens.
So he was a mentally disabled child. This is literally Jason. Mental child as a kid. His dad owned a store.
Yes.
And then I guess he was bullied anytime the dad did something that the people didn't like. They would bully his kid instead. Yeah. And then from my understanding is that one day he got lured into this firehouse because he was obsessed with fire trucks, I believe, or red cars.
Yeah.
And which I really like when he plays with it. I'm like, oh, he's literally a child.
He's literally just a kid.
And an accident happened where he fell off, and then they burned him inside with it, or his dead body, or something like that. And
he was presumed dead.
And then he went on a murdering spree 60 years before the day of this movie, or watching the movie. Yeah. And I think that's basically that's the story. Lore. And they do this in a campfire setting, like in Friday the 13th Part 2, where this one person is telling the whole group about it. Yeah,
it's like there's like one shot where it's literally just in their point of view, and the killer's stalking them from afar, so you can kind of see him when because it's like the camera's moving around them, but they're telling his story, and of course it's like, oh my god, you're so stupid, you're so silly.
And even then they kind of know of this killer already, because when they take the selfie the next day, when they're looking for the one that he's already killed, they're like, there was a man in behind our picture. Yeah. But we don't get to see that because we're not seeing their movie. Yep. We're seeing his movie.
Yeah.
And I like those little details.
And it's like the detail of like they are surrounded and you see him in the background. And in my head in the movie, I was like, oh, maybe someone will look at the picture now and be like, what the fuck is that? And turn around and he's not there anymore or something. But we don't see that. Literally, we don't see that. That's like what we would have seen in their perspective. But that's literally all of it. We do have our Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
The campfire. Is it Tommy?
Jarvis.
Tommy. What's Tommy Doyle?
Halloween.
Oh, Tommy Doyle. Yes. Jarvis.
And then there's Tommy Chucky.
Oh, that's true.
Tonight. That's Tommy Doyle.
No, leave him out. So we have our Tommy Jarvis. It's literally like his father. When he went on his first rampage, his father killed him. Killed Johnny, and Johnny was laid to rest with the locket, and his is like his son, because 10 years later someone took it and he came back and killed everyone he loves. So assuming his father died. Yeah,
if we miss any details, we literally left the theater like an hour or two ago, so we're fresh on our minds. Or I should say unfresh if we forget anything, but whatever.
Yeah, that's okay.
But when they were explaining all this dialogue, I'm like, oh my god, I would hate this movie if it was in their perspective. Like they sound stupid.
It sounds like a horrible ass movie, but it's just like in a fresh new perspective, which is so fun about it. And that's the thing. It's such a good idea. I just wish they added just a little bit more. I wish I would have seen like.
I also think if this is gonna be a new thing, it works better if it's shorter.
Yeah,
a shorter movie.
And I guess we should go down the kills. Before getting to the ending of the movie.
The first kill, we don't see much, but what I love about it is that he finds a locket at this person's house, and it just says "number one motherfucker." Yeah. It's not the locket he's looking for.
That's the guy has a hat that also says that, so it's like that's his whole thing. He's like a redneck, full from the South, baby.
Yeah, and the cops are the Tommy Jarvis, I guess the sheriff is there because he's killing deer, but with bear traps. We should mention the bear traps because they come back with bear traps, so he's getting in trouble for it. And I can see this scene happening, and then you just see the killer behind walking by. It was just chef's kiss to me how this is such an homage to 80s slashers.
Yeah, it's literally like so. They really doubled down with this idea. Like they were like, no, we're not making it exciting because that's not the movie.
But then, as he's chasing this guy down the woods, we don't see the chase because we're just following. He's slow. He's a slow walker.
Yeah, the camera's just still.
Yeah.
It's just still from a distance.
But then it catches up to the guy, and the guy fell because he fell on a bear trap. And I'm like, wow. In the movie, I can just imagine him running. It's like,
oh, fuck.
But
you see him coming closer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
But we just get he's already stuck at the bear trap. He's already like, fuck. And then he
goes to grab his face, and it match cuts to him. His hand is entirely covered in blood, chunky and shit, and like he is grabbing the locket.
Yeah, because he walks back to the house. And then it's not the locket he's looking for, so he leaves. And then when he walks by the body again, it's just dismembered. There's arms on top of the cards everywhere.
So apparently, because people say that like when he did his first murdering spree, he tore all the lumberjacks apart into pieces.
Yep.
And people thought it was like a wild animal that did it. And that's like kind of like
that's how they covered it up.
Or that's how they covered it up. It's kind of like how they kind of covered up the murders in Crystal Lake. But it's like the whole kind of aspect of the movie, and I think it's even with the title, like A Violent Nature, is about literally he is a wild animal. He literally is a wild. He's not a person.
He's at part 6, Jason.
Exactly.
He's the zombie.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like he's not a person anymore, and he just acts in instincts more than anything. So there's a lot of back and forth, especially with the ending, talking about like how wildlife works.
Which that was the part that I was like, okay,
I'm over.
We're done this movie. Yeah.
And
that's the sad part about it.
That's the really sad part. So that's technically our first kill. We meet our group of friends, or just being like the jerks. Yeah. We have the pothead.
It looks
like the guy that's horny as fuck.
It seems like we have one of each.
The couple.
Yeah.
Basically, if you've seen what is it? Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, pretty much.
The group of friends.
And they're staying at a cabin in the woods.
In the woods.
So then the next kill that if I remember we get, it's one of the guys. He looks, I think he's the pothead of the group.
Yeah.
Where it's the tree kill where he comes from behind with the tree, but he comes with a crowbar and he pushes it down on his face.
A saw.
Oh, it's a saw? Okay.
Yeah, like a hand saw, and just pushes it. It kind of reminded me of Wrong Turn with the axe.
Yep.
And I thought that's what was gonna happen. I thought the body was gonna collapse and the head was gonna stay, but like just everything just falls off. Yeah. It's so fucking gross. It's like it's all practical too. It's not CG.
It's how they kill Crazy Ralph.
Yes, that's true.
In the sequel.
Oh my god, that's so true. That's how they do it. So that's our on-screen first kill.
Yeah.
Fucking cool, gruesome, pretty long. Like it stays there for a while, and all practical, which is also a plus.
That's another thing. This movie,
I feel like only one was not practical, and I can tell you which one.
Okay.
But then after this, we get a lot more walking.
He walks with the body and the piece of the head.
Yes. That was fucking funny as hell. He just has his head. There's like a garage or something.
He goes to the ranger station.
Oh, the ranger station. That's what it was. And he like throws the head through the window.
And the way it lands with the eye surprised is really funny.
It's so good. And then he opens it and he sees the mask that he wears.
And the weapon.
As a memorial. And the
weapon. Hooks, yeah.
He has a hook and an axe, right?
Yeah.
It's like
so the hook is on a chain. So it's 2 hooks on a chain.
Yep. It's a really long chain.
Yeah. And then the axe, which I love the axe is, common, but the hooks is a brand new weapon that you haven't really seen before.
In a way, the axe, the hook with chain, especially because we seen how Candyman kind of has a hook.
Yeah, but it's the way he uses it and stuff is different.
Very unique. I do like that they took their time kind of creating this character. Even if the lore's similar to Jason, like they still thought of like, oh, what's his weapon? What does he look like? Because even the mask is kind of cool.
Because in another movie, we would have just had everybody explain to us that, this is why he wears this mask. Yeah, which they kind of did
in a way. They kind of
because he liked being the fire. I think it's firefighting what he liked.
Yeah,
that's why he burned at the firehouse or whatever.
Are you saying Jason died by water and Johnny died by fire? How do we kill them? How do we use that against them? Actually, there's no final girl fight in this movie. I'm gonna just say it now.
No, because she did what they told her to do.
But I'm like,
but she didn't do it. Which I don't know why she didn't do it at first. I wanted her to die. I kind of wanted him to win.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's like in every movie.
But then we don't get sequels that way. I mean,
Yeah.
in their perspectives, we don't get sequels.
Even though
like,
if they wanted to kill him off,
Mm-hmm.
they could have done it in this movie. It's like his final movie,
Yeah.
basically. But then when he sees the mask, this was so fucking funny. He grabs the fucking body and just slams it across the fucking glass and just it's just the way it lands on the floor and everything is
because
so
it just flops.
comedic.
It just flops on the floor.
And I think it's just the quietness too, like the no music
and
nothing.
And that's I think, and I like that detail because I feel like the killer doesn't have any music. We're not following them.
Not at all.
The humans are the ones with the music because they're the ones in paranoia and fucking fear and having fun or whatever.
You see, you know how cool would have been if you could hear like the dad like talking to him, like, and you know how like the theaters have like the kind of different speakers, like come here, boy. Or
Maybe
whatever.
he didn't want to overdo it.
I feel like they could have. If I would have made this as a Jason movie, I would have put that like so you can see why Jason thinks the way he does, you know, and. So he gets the mask,
and then this is when he goes off into the woods somewhere walking. But then we run into two girls, and these girls were, I think, mentioned before. They may have been the gas station girls, because you know in the horror movies we stop at the gas station and we might meet another group of people that are just there for the murders. Which that's what these two girls are you for,
literally. They're at a lake and he gets into the lake and all you see is that he disappears.
I love this.
Yeah, it's so fucking
because.
Sick.
In another movie, we would have seen or they wouldn't have seen him. Maybe we would have seen him off in the distance, but we never see Jason just get in the water to
especially part 2. Is it part 2 the one with the raft? No, that's 3, right?
That's 3 where he comes out of the water with the fucking arrow gun.
He was already in the water.
Yeah.
We don't see him going in the water.
Yeah.
It is so sick to see that. But these two girls are like, oh my God, if you're going to make a move on me, make a move on me. So they're, they have a little thing going on.
They're a little lesbians.
Lesbians.
And,
so I was like, Happy Pride. Lesbian. And we're watching this movie in June. Happy Pride.
Like, yes, Pride, baby. Pride. Yeah. And so it's literally just like a faraway shot. Sometimes it kind of cuts close to them.
Yeah.
But we don't see him at all here. So he's underwater. We don't see him.
And the girls are
really good at holding his breath.
The girls are flirting. One is like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do yoga. I'm gonna be stretching out, but I need you to come stretch me out after you'll swim." And I was like, "Okay."
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the girl just gets
that bean, baby.
the one in the water, he just jaws her. So he just pulls her down and drowns her.
Yeah, that's basically all.
But we don't see it because we're not watching her. It's not her movie.
It's literally from the top, from the surface of the water. It's so good.
So then
he gets out
and goes to the other girl.
And
this
is the kill of the movie.
This is probably. Am I gonna say this?
I agree.
This is one of the best kills ever made.
Yes, this beats Art with the fucking split in half.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of another one.
Glenn getting pulled under the bed by Freddy. I don't like it. This is amazing.
This is like, if you want to gore, like this is like graphic as fuck. Everyone in the theater
and it's over the top.
Up.
This is the one where everyone reacted to, and people were laughing. People were like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, like there was someone being like, "I am so sorry, because she was like really like grossed out by it, because this poor girl. It's literally the trailer one too, which is really funny. She's doing yoga. She's like, I will say, when I come over,
when we cut to her, I'm like, look at her making dumb decisions. Which
a little bit. And she turns around and he's just walking towards her, and there's a cliff there, so she can't just jump. It's a hill.
She could have. It was sliding.
Yeah,
it was like a sand hill. She could have slid.
She want to do one of this.
She could have just rolled.
Yeah, she would have been fine.
She could have just kept rolling into the water. He would have followed.
Yeah, that's true.
But she could have just rolled.
She ends up.
I'm not gonna lie. When she stopped and kind of just turned around, I'm like, oh, I would have fucking hated you as a character.
Yeah.
But this is not her movie, so we're not watching her.
Because what happens is that he fucking fists her
with the hook.
Through her stomach.
Yep.
She looks down and sees it, then turns around towards him.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs the hook from the other side, hooks her in the head, turns her around. I thought he was gonna fucking push her and like let her kind of jumble down.
Wait. He
hooks her and then grabs the chain that's through her.
Oh yeah, because he kept that hook in there.
Yeah. So
when he turned her, he hit her with the other one.
He only has one.
No, there's 2 hooks, Poppy.
Really?
There's a hook on each side of the weapon. That's why I said he uses it. He uses to his advantage.
Wait, no. He goes like that. She turns around. He grabs it and hooks her in the head, like that. Because then he grabs the chain from the back and pulls her head down.
Yeah, by the hook she already had in here.
No. Yeah. So it's in her head.
Because there's two hooks.
That one is in her head.
He's using both hooks.
Oh, damn. That motherfucker really hated her ass. So anyways, she got hooks, pulls the chain through her fucking stomach all the way through. And then you see her neck break, her spine. And it is great. Like, so graphic.
He broke her back. Her head goes through her.
But guess what? She wanted to get stretched out.
She did. And he heard that.
He heard that shit.
He's like, I got you, fam.
You know what? One thing I like about the killer is that he kind of stays for the drama. Because sometimes when there's drama, he kind of goes, ooh, he stays. It's kind of funny where he just like sits down and listens to the drama.
It's really good.
But that one is so crazy because of everything was practical. If anything was CG, very well hidden.
Yeah.
But fucking
and
insane.
then he Spartas her down the hill.
Yeah.
And she rolls all the way down to the water.
Rolling.
Yep. And those were our bodies for this movie.
So this is like the two, I guess.
That were y'all just bodies. This is the banana girl.
Oh, you know what's a good way to describe this movie? If we still have the Jason movie, but the in-betweens is just what's the girl from the first movie? Is this
Alice?
Alice? If Alice was making the coffee through the entire movie.
Yeah.
With Jason sprinkled here and there.
I feel like I like what he did. I like the way he did this movie. I feel like maybe next time let's try to balance both and see how that goes.
Yeah, because it's a good idea. I think that it's very, very impressive that he still made it work somehow. It's just like I'm not gonna watch this again.
It's the in between the walking and stuff. It's just very slow, and if you're not into it, it's not gonna be for you. I can see why this story, the critics are like, okay, this it's good, but then audiences are not it's not what they're expecting.
Because even technically, the movie's pretty beautiful. Like the colors are very vibrant. The sky
was the ratio
gorgeous.
Like old fashioned?
So
or am I tripping?
What I'm thinking, not the whole time. There was a lot of times where it was full screen. But I think the beginning was kind of, and I don't know if it's whenever we see him.
It went back to it looked like back. TV.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't remember it being
our screen was a very weird size too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. Maybe it was our theater. I'm not sure.
It was laser.
I guess I'll have to rewatch to see how the aspect ratio changes, if it means anything, to be honest.
Also the hook thing. But he did have two hooks. I know that for sure.
I didn't know that. I thought he like grabbed it from the other side and he had the chain already.
He might have, but he used the other hook to like pull on it.
Oh, I see. Okay. But then he was more walking, more just chilling.
So what's the next one?
So then we see the two guys, the keys. The keys land on. There's like some keys, and you hear some people going, "Fuck your keys" or whatever.
Because they're looking for the guy that's already dead.
Yeah, and they toss the key and lands on his feet. And there's like a little like fire truck.
It's like a Hot Wheel, but it's a keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's playing with it. What did you think about this? We see his face.
I didn't want to see his face.
Me neither. I literally was
my fiance was like, I wasn't expecting to see his face.
Me neither.
But the makeup was really well done.
Yeah.
Which, yes, it was.
He looks creepy.
But I feel like you should have kept him blurred out because that's what the mask was
in
for.
The entire movie. I literally was like, this is cool that even in his perspective, we still don't know what he looks like. I love that they still kept it as a mystery, but then this kind of like threw me off. I was like, I don't know how I like it.
I know eventually later on in sequels we do end up seeing their faces or something,
that's
which
true.
I know this is like a big homage, so maybe that's why he showed it.
Possibly.
But I do like that it gave him here a little bit of a personality that he had before.
Yeah.
So he's playing with his toy car, and I love that the guy looking for the keychain does not notice this man sitting by the tree just playing with his car.
Literally.
Yeah.
He's so out there too, and his mask is also like in plain sight.
But this guy ends up finding
his axe.
and then this guy ends up finding it, which is like, oh look, I found an axe. What about that guy we saw in the picture last night, which is the picture they took? So it's like they throw you in these things of what's happening
like
in the
little
story
details,
while we're following him, and I do like that. It's not just silent the whole time.
Yeah. But then he goes and he gets angry and destroys it. And then he like puts on his mask and this motherfucker starts speed walking and like towards a cabin.
Yeah, but he makes I really like this because this happens in every fucking movie.
Yep.
He puts a stick on the horn, and then the horn, and I'm imagining the people like, what the fuck is that?
And then he like skedaddles.
He runs. He speed walks like past the house. Like, oh, they gonna catch me.
And he goes all the way around.
Goes
like
all the way
times
around.
It. And the cool detail is that if you look in one of the windows, there's someone looking.
Someone just sees him.
Someone sees him. So in that movie that we would see, you would see he would notice the killer, and he's gonna.
And it would have been a
grab the
really
gun.
loud jump scare, and then the music
Like,
would start.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then no, he's just walking, and then he goes to kill a guy that went to check the car.
I fucking love this because he axes him. The killer gets fucking shot down, but we know he's not dead because
he's breathing.
But in the let's pretend we're in the other movie in the survivor cut.
Which one are you? Am I the one that killed him?
I'm the one. No, I'm gonna be the one that shot him because I know this would be me, and then I would die.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't be that stupid, but let's pretend for today, okay?
Okay.
So
he goes to axe me. Oh, okay.
Cue
God damn! Fuck! Who's honking, you motherfucking bitch? God, it's a fucking what the? Oh shit! Oh God, Carlos!
You got axe in the head, in the leg. Okay.
Oh fucking ass!
Boom!
Oh Carlos!
Oh, we gotta tie this up, dude.
God damn, grab my leg, bitch.
Wait, as the music's going, dun 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 dun, right? And then we like, okay, get up, we gotta go. Dun dun dun. We running through the woods,
bitch,
and then
stop pulling me.
And then the music stops, and I go,
Carlos. Oh my God.
So what happens is that he chucks the axe, but we don't see this because it's just a drone watching over the killer, and the killer walks and we're following him, and then you just see the guy dead on the fucking floor with the axe on his head,
and the other guy just crawling away. And this one, I don't know if you noticed it, but I thought it was so technically cool because he's crawling away. He turns around and he gets on top. He grabs a big ass rock. He smashes his head in.
But you know it's funny. In the other movie, we would have seen the rock from above.
That's true.
Or from below.
Yeah.
From above.
We would have got a close up of the head just getting smooshed.
That, and then we would have seen the rock over us.
Yep.
Not
like
from under
standing,
us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool because it's all in one take. This is all one take. Even the kill is in one take. It doesn't cut away.
Is this a CGI one? Because he's like right there, and then the head just.
So
or they really did it.
If anyone from the movie did this, bro, for a second I was like, did they just kill motherfuckers in this movie? Like, imagine the director's like, yeah, rest in peace.
So apparently this movie was shot back in 2021. So they have, and it's now getting released. So they might have. Yeah. It might have been a whole lawsuit thing.
Yeah, they're like, hey, keep it. Sign this NDA.
Just kidding. It's jokes.
But if anyone's watching out there, please let me know if I'm correct. So how I think they did this, they did an overshot. Mm-hmm. They probably set it to like, follow the killer. They shot one where the killer does the motion of like, boom, right? Mm-hmm. Without anyone there, like just him.
I see.
And then they did one with the same drone movement because it's like a program that you can kind of set it up to like do the same movement over and over again.
I see.
And then they did it with him because if you notice, there's a part where he turns around and he just immediately looks up. Oh. And then what they do is they kind of separate the killer. Like they roto him out of the one frame and then put him to the other with the survivors, and they kind of match those together. But it's so impressive because it's all just happens. And I'm like, wow,
his head explodes, and I was like, damn, I didn't even see the cut there.
No,
like
that motherfucker just died.
It went.
The director said, "Cut." Anyways, we built a hole over there.
So then. The other two survivors that went to the ranger station show up, and they're freaking out because we saw that he broke into the ranger station the night before. So they find Johnny's body.
And then we see
the other guy's body.
Our final girl shows up for a second, and he goes to kill him, but she gets a man to go away.
Yeah,
and she goes to the ranger station.
Yeah. Well, they were there already.
Yeah, and
that's where they got back from. Because remember, he broke in and left the body there.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're freaking out because this is the part of the movie where we figure out that someone's murdering people. So, but when we get back to the cabin, everyone that you left at the cabin fucking died.
Yep.
So now we have our two final people, and they leave. They escape from him, but he ends up catching up later that night.
Yep.
And we see that the sheriff is telling them all, where did you get that pendant from? That belonged to him.
Are you crazy?
That's why he's killing people.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, I would hate this movie.
So dumb, like literally so dumb.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Do you know who I am? You remember me?"
Yeah.
And he explains his lore about his dad killing him, and he's the next descendant. Remind me so much of like Jason Goes to Hell, where it's like, I'm a Voorhees. Only a Voorhees can kill a Voorhees.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
But he ends up the sheriff ends up shooting him, and then he tells the other guy to go get a chain. The other guy can't tie him up, so they're doing this stupid thing. It's like, okay, well, you grab the gun and I'll tie him up. And I'm like, he's gonna wake up. Y'all taking forever.
But it is smart that like he planned that. It's just that these two fuckers are so like scared.
We
don't see them.
No, it's very what is it? Dexter's Laboratory parents.
Oh, yeah.
We don't see we don't see the parent. We don't see their faces.
It's like from their knee down.
Yeah.
Because we see the killer just laying there.
Yeah.
And he counts 1, 2, stop shaking, 3, and he goes to pass the gun and he just fucking grabs it. And the killer wakes up, grabs it, and
our 2 survivors run.
They run, but the sheriff's like, I'll stay with him, I'll fight him off.
But he paralyzes him.
Yeah, he grabs
alive.
his spine and like kind of breaks it. I wish we saw a little bit more of that, because like I was kind of confused for a second.
It looked like he was giving him a massage.
He like grabs him, and then
go, yeah.
He's a chiropractor.
Yeah.
A bad one at that.
He walks to the shed and turns on something, and then you see that the sheriff, because we're on him, his eyes are still moving, so he's still alive.
And he's breathing. You see him breathing really heavy. And he just brings them, and I love that he gives them a little show. He puts a little wood, and it's like a automatic wood chip, wood cutter.
Yeah.
A wood splitter, that's what it is.
Because the lumberjacks all died, so they needed a machine to do it.
Yup.
That's part of the lore.
Thor Bradley wasn't there. And then he grabs it, shows it, and it's splitting slowly, like super slow. And he puts his arm there.
Yeah, the arm looked a little funky. I'm not gonna lie.
You can see the
space between the, but it's fine.
I wonder why like they haven't improved that. And it too when Georgie not Georgie Eddie, when he breaks it at the house.
Oh,
it's also like you see like a body part. Like it's weird. I'm surprised they never managed to do that. Anyways, he cuts his arm from like his elbow. It was just his wrist, right? I think. Or
no, it was pretty back. It was pretty back.
Cuts it there, and then he puts his head, and it's like slowly, and it's like from far away.
And he's alive still. His eyes are moving.
Yeah,
but he can't scream either.
Nope.
And his head gets cut off, and then he dies.
That's it. That one, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah,
but you know.
And then another favorite part of mine is the teens are running, but they stop. And I know, if we're watching this movie, they're like, "Oh, we hear him coming. We gotta hide."
Yeah.
So they hide, and then you hear them plotting.
Oh yeah.
You hear them. He hears them plotting.
He's literally like, he turns around, and they're like, "They can see it. He can see it."
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna go distract him, and you're just gonna run, and we're hearing them. Yeah. So it's like he can hear them, which I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so dumb." So then the guy, who I was like, "Okay, he's kind of cute." He's like, "Boo, Johnny." And then he just turns around and fucking axes him straight in the fucking head.
No hesitation.
Nope.
Just done.
And then keeps doing it for like 5 minutes.
And she like just looks at him, just cutting away.
She's just staring at him.
And this is where we cut to her perspective.
My fiance is like, "You want ground beef?" Because he just kept axing the head.
He just kept going.
He was mad. But she does... She's like frozen in fear here, but what she ends up doing is what she should have done from the beginning. She puts the necklace on the gas canister that they had, so he will find it, and then she runs, and now we're following her, and the noises of the woods get super, super loud.
Yeah, and then you hear like the sound effect that they use for the chopping.
They would have done a musical score to this.
Yes,
because now we're in their perspective.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's like, I do like that it's still shot kind of how the killer shot too, because she does a lot of running and it's still from behind her. Very, very similar, like parallels.
Yeah.
This is where I feel that I think they missed an opportunity to give our killer a little bit more personality, where in every Jason movie, we always have the scene where she finds all the bodies.
Yes.
Why? I don't know why they didn't
we
get
did. Well, okay, yeah, because we only... well, she finds her friends there when she gets to the cabin.
But we don't have the killer setting them up. You know how Jason throws them in through the window in part 2, or like hit the fucking through the door, he's hanging. Like, I would have liked to see like the killer setting up those things. Yeah. And then just sitting in the corner while they're figuring everything out. And maybe we hear just screaming and we're like, oh, there's one body. Oh, there's another body. Yeah. And then he kind of counts, all everything that's happening. It's like, I wish we would have seen that, where he's setting up. How does this killer kind of show off his kills? And then we don't really get that, because now
he kind of just disposes of them when he's done with them. He doesn't give a fuck.
After this, we don't see the killer ever.
No, and
that's it.
That's where I was kind of like, really? I wish we would have seen him find the necklace. And I know he was just probably gonna walk back to his resting place, because that's what the legend is. But I wish we would have gotten that, because it's like, oh, he lives and she got away. That's how the movie would have ended. Yeah. But she gets rescued by this lady, the woman, and she's giving her this story about a bear and a guy that survived it. Yeah. Which my partner interpreted it as it wasn't really a bear. It was just a cover up, and it was really the killer, and the guy survived him. Maybe. And like, again, the thing, because even our final girl says an animal attacked me, which is it's basically the plot of the movie, because he is not human, and it's kind of like we maybe think that it might be a real. She talked about a black bear and that it wasn't there anymore, and our final girl like kind of goes, "That's weird. Like, really, it just disappeared like a big ass bear," and it's very like, oh, he is a survivor from the killer. Like, this guy's dad wasn't the only one that survived. So I can totally see that as a thing as well. And then I thought he was gonna do one final jump scare, because
me too. I was waiting.
They stopped the car. She gets out to fix her leg.
We have like classical music playing.
Yeah, and like she's looking into the woods, and I'm looking. I'm like, does she see something? I don't see.
He's there.
He was there.
He was there because whenever the lady, the woman, she like tries to tourniquet her leg because she had like stabbed it with like a piece of wood, and she looks, she's paranoid because he might come out in any second, and from the distance I'm pretty sure it's him. I don't think I just imagined this, because afterwards it's not there anymore, and it's like a very tiny bit. It's almost like the photo, how like he's kind of just in the background, kind of like that, really small. You can kind of see him, and it zooms into her face, zooms in to the whole woods, and he's not there anymore.
Yeah. And you know what I see this scene as? The final scene in Texas Chainsaw. You know how it cuts away from Sally? We don't see Sally on her way to the hospital. We kind of see, I guess, this and how she is on her way to the hospital.
Because this is more of like the psychological. She's kind of fucked up now because she just saw, assuming her friend or her boyfriend or whatever, and die. So it's like, she would be fucked up after this. Yeah. But then that's it.
Then it ends, yeah.
We don't even see the locket back at this place, nothing.
I'm pretty sure he walked back home and was like, well, I'm gonna put this here, put this locket here, let someone else touch it. Yeah. I'm gonna be back.
And you see, like, I wish we would have gotten like a final battle, like a final girl scene or something.
Hey, maybe this franchise will go on. This will become a franchise. They'll make 12 movies out of it. And then the final movie will he going against another killer we never met. And this killer, for some reason, has finger gloves. And he can come in your dreams or something. Like,
you say that, and it's like...
And then this killer was killed by water, not fire.
This genre is going to get super saturated because it's cool. And I feel like now everyone's going to want to put their perspective on it. It's like, I don't want to see a Freddy perspective. Freddy's kind of weird.
Imagine that.
Freddy's a little weird.
Going into the dreams.
But what did he do in his dream? Like, what did he do down there? He just chilling?
I don't know.
Let's make it.
Or a Chucky version.
It's just Toy Story, bro. You've seen Toy Story.
That's true.
You're like, never mind then. And that is in nature core.
In a violent nature.
What? Nature calls. I just did Ace Ventura.
You did. In a violent nature. Colon, when a nature calls.
When a nature calls, Ace Ventura. Alrighty, so like we do in every movie, we go to Letterboxd and we give it a rating and a review. Carlos, what is your rating and review?
I give it a 3.5 out of 5. and with a heart.
Okay.
And I say I really enjoyed what this movie did, following the slasher around instead of the annoying kids with their bad dialogue. If this movie was flipped, it would have been just another boring, predictable slasher movie.
Very true. I mean, completely agree. I give it a 3 stars.
Okay.
I said boring with hints of excitement. The novelty of the film is fantastic and has some great moments. Some of the best kills, but it's surrounded with so much nothing. It makes it hard to rewatch again. I think there could be something to make this movie a bit more fun to watch, which is basically like giving a little bit more lore. Oh, I see it. I thought it was an axe.
It's a chain connected.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's 2. I wonder what they use that for. Because it's fire. It's a fire. It's all about.
You know, it's funny at the Halloween stores. I always see that. You know, the
so
fake
it might
ones,
just be like a
the
thing.
2 chains with the hooks. So it must be used for something.
To go like that. But daddy of the movie,
The killer.
like Johnny.
Yeah, the killer. Yeah, because I don't meet
There's
anybody
nothing.
else. I mean, some
We
of the
don't
guys.
really see them very well.
What
What
is-
about their Tommy Jarvis?
Nah, no. Maybe the boyfriend that got axed to the straight in the head.
Yeah.
He was like, "Boo, boom." He was kind of cute.
Yeah, that's true.
But the killer.
Favorite kill? I think we both agree, right?
Oh, the girl getting
That one's
her
fucking
head through
crazy.
her stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Makes sense, right?
She just ate herself out.
She had her own C-section.
Lesbians.
Yeah, I think that's basically it.
Yes.
It's so fast because it's like obviously that's the best kill in the movie. Like there's no argument. Like,
No.
it literally is. After that, I felt like this kill probably should have been less for last because after that it's kind of hard to follow through.
A little bit if you're asleep.
Because the
This is
one
gonna be a comfort movie for me.
comfort.
Yeah, where I put it on, I'm like, all right, good night.
Oh, that's your sleeping.
Yeah, comfort.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't think I'll rewatch. I'll rewatch the kills if just to see how crazy they look. But like, that's it.
Yeah, no, it's a hard rewatch if you already seen it.
Would you get the Steelbook?
I would own it.
Yeah, yeah. I hope it gets one. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we already did the Roulette of Horror. That's why you don't hear it. Roulette of Horror. Oh yeah, we did it already.
Yeah, so join us next week for the movie Cube. I do apologize again. I forgot this was coming out this weekend.
Nah, it's okay.
But we did promise you guys new movies.
Yeah, we're gonna do new movies. I mean, we're still gonna spin it, but if Cuckoo comes out, we're gonna watch that shit.
If Long Legs
Long
come out,
Legs.
we're gonna walk our long legs over to the theater. You know what I mean? And when A Quiet Place comes out, we're gonna shut the fuck up and we're gonna go watch it, okay?
Talk to me, baby.
Okay?
No talk. We already did talk to me, Vin Diesel. That was last week.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, join us next week for 1997's Cube.
Yes, sir. Also, if you guys want to support us, we do have our merch down below.
Yeah.
We do have our Classics logo, our Pride logo,
Which is 15% off right now.
everything.
Oh, it's everything?
Everything with code Pride.
Our whole store, guys, is 15% off. Our whole store.
And if you don't support it, you're homophobic.
Yeah,
bro.
you fucking homophobic bitches. Support our shit.
Yeah, bro. Click the subscribe button or you're gay.
Yeah.
Wait.
No.
No. You're homophobic.
You're not an ally if you don't support and buy
bro.
from us.
The least you can do is that.
Yeah. TikTok this.
I'll make it work.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's basically everything. Code Pride.
Code Pride. 15% off.
And we have a horror mommy also. Yeah, with the gays.
Yep. Our horror mommy merch.
Yeah, stickers,
Also,
everything.
15% off.
Like, come on, guys.
It's like the gecko says, but I can't say it because I'm not trying to get sued. But 15% off.
Because one click can save you 15% off.
Yep.
But yeah, that's basically it, right?
That's it. All right. Join us next week for Cube. And remember,
Stay spooky and stay gay as fuck, baby.
see you in your dreams.
Gays. Horror Daddies.
Bye, guys.
Bye.